All the ammo used in this video was brought to you by Noir, maker of the most innovative, most accurate, and most effective bullets and ammunition in the industry.
Ooh, I know some of y'all know this one. The Springfield M1A SOCOM 16. These are one of those rifles for me. And you know how I get when it's one of those rifles for me. I wanted one of these for quite a while now. And for those who don't know what this is the civilian version of the M14. Basically, they took the M14, made it semi-auto, brought the barrel length down to 16 inches, and voila. If you ask me, you know, any of y'all remember that movie Faster with The Rock in it? Yeah, so you all know he was using that Ruger Red Hawk Alaskan in the movie or whatnot. In my mind, if he was gonna use a rifle in that movie, it'd be this rifle. This rifle has always been to me like the quintessential muscle car of the gun world. It's a very kind of, with the synthetic stock and whatnot, it gives me very much a retro muscle car in gun form. And I freaking love it. It's one of those guns, you just enjoy shooting. Yes, it beats the hell out of you. It's a 308, it's chambered in 308 or 7.62 depending on what side of the road you're on. And it beats you, it does. But you enjoy every single punch. I mean, it's just, look at it, look. Oh, God, yes, yes. If you're a glutton for punishment, like truly a glutton for punishment, and a form factor that just looks beautiful and sexy, this is it. This is it. I don't even think sexy is the right word. It's just brawling, brawling. So let's talk about the safety. Safety is a little bit different. You gotta remember, this is from a different era. This isn't a modern rifle. It's definitely something, I believe they started making these in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken, as far as this actual SOCOM 16. So the safety, as you can see here, is inside the trigger guard, and it can seem a little nerve-wracking at first, because you're like, wait a minute, the safety is inside of the trigger guard, like, what can't go wrong, right? But technically speaking, you're in here, you're safe anyway. So it's a little kind of arduous to push out, but nonetheless, when you get the hang of it, it becomes a little bit easier. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it just becomes natural. It's not. Especially if you don't have a lot of index finger strength to actually maneuver it. But the interesting thing about this is the trigger on this thing is phenomenal. I did not expect that. I almost expected a very kind of crunchy, grindy trigger. This trigger it's silky. It's silky, look. Let's take up, take up, take up, break. Take up, break. And then reset. Reset is nothing. This thing is silky. Good gosh, this trigger is good. This is a very good trigger, which means that it allows you to do stuff like this. You just, like it's nothing. It's a gun, it is a go-to battle gun. This is what you call a battle rifle. Nowadays we have like nice and slick looking stuff like the Scar 617, and those things are great. But there's just something about there's nothing like this kind of organic experience that you get with this SOCOM 16. It's a 308 with a 16-inch barrel. It's literally a 308 truck gun.
Have you ever thought about making a living in the firearm industry? If you enjoy gun repairs, ballistics, and learning about firearms, Sonoran Desert Institute online courses might just be a good fit for you. To find out more about them, visit www.sdi.edu today.
Think about that for a second. Most people's truck guns are like either like little small AK-47s or little tiny like pistol caliber carbines, or in my case, little small 300 blackouts. This is 308, 7.62x51 that you can legitimately use as your truck gun or your ranch gun, or just I want to go out and get punished and enjoy every minute of it gun. That's what, to me, this SOCOM 16 is. And the fact that it is still to this day modern enough that you don't feel undergunned. Like if this was something I had to go out and defend myself with in, let's say, the end of the world apocalypse. You know, we all like to dream about the apocalypse or whatnot, but I wouldn't feel undergunned with this. I wouldn't. You got your 20 round magazines, no problem whatsoever. And then you have a traditional style stock, which from an ergonomic standpoint feels just fine. And of course you got your grip texture up here in the front. You do got this Picatinny rail up front, which I'm honestly not a big fan of. It's too far. I don't like far mounted red dots and optics. I am gonna trick this out, but I'm just not a fan of super front mounted Picatinny rails. But I understand why it's there. However, there are some conversions that you can do. Get a longer rail, get a rail mount here, or you can add a red dot. I'll probably outfit this with a Leupold Delta Point Pro, and then that's when this thing really is just gonna start singing. But that doesn't mean the sights on this aren't good at all. The sights, you have your rear peep sight here, as you can see there, and then you also have the front notch sight as well. On top of that, what really makes this gun so enjoyable to shoot, because technically speaking, it's not supposed to be a fun gun to shoot. It's a 16-inch 308 rifle. But what makes it fun to shoot is that brake. The brake is phenomenal. Now, it makes the gun really loud, but it works. For instance, like, look, I can sit here. Look, it's just, if you can deal with the recoil, which honestly, like I said, because of the brake, isn't that bad considering it is a 16-inch 308. That's the caveat. Because I don't want nobody taking this out of context. It's like, Colion Noir said that a 16-inch 308 isn't that bad recoil rise. Shut up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying within context, understanding that most 308s with this barrel length kind of suck to shoot. This one doesn't as much, even though it still sucks compared to like an AR-15 or something of that sort. The gun is also noticeably really smooth. Like this bolt just watch. Don't watch, just watch the bolt. It's just how smooth the bolt just glides. And you honestly, you can feel it while you're shooting. And it makes for just such a pleasurable shooting experience. I really freaking love this thing. It's just raw, it's visceral. And I think in a lot of ways, sometimes guns can be a little too refined. I don't say that it's a bad thing per se, but sometimes you lose the personality in certain firearms because now they've become so refined, they become so modern, they become so ergonomic that they just lose a bit of that character that guns like this still retain while still being exceptionally functional. I don't feel handicapped with this. Like there are some modern guns where I'm not modern, but older guns where you do kind of feel handicapped. Here, it doesn't matter. Like I can do anything I want with this gun if I needed to. Keep in mind, this rail gets hot. So just understand that, this rail gets hot. But like, the gun is, and even from a loading the mag standpoint, is it as efficient as say an AR-15? No, it's not. But I mean, it's not that bad. Boom, you just rock it in. Just up, rock, you're good to go. Whew. Love this thing, man. Love this gun. And charging it too, for instance. There's a lot of manipulation with taking hands off of the gun to charge it, so forth and so on, which like I said, it's not perfect. It's not as refined as other guns that we have now. But I think the way this thing has aged is immaculate. It is literally the tactical patina on this gun's modernity. I don't even know if that's a real word. I don't care, I'm gonna say it like it is. Just own it. But, and what I mean by patina, it's just the way this gun has aged is incredible. I think it's just phenomenal, especially in this setup because it's almost a perfect blend of new and old. So it's that retro, right? Because you can get this in wood furniture and it'll definitely be older, so to speak. But this particular setup with the synthetic stock, the way it's set up now, 16-inch barrel, weighs about 8.8 pounds. And like I said, it's not a modern gun, but it is still very functional. And you just, honestly, that silhouette, this silhouette here, it's just one of those guns that visually works with you. It just works. And at the end of the day, I've always wanted this. I absolutely, it has not failed me at all from the standpoint of actually finally getting my hands on it and shooting it and realizing that I like it even more. It took me very first mag I shot of this gun. I freaking loved it. This gun, to me, it's a perfect balance of modern and old. And it's come together and it's beautiful, which is why I call this the muscle car of the gun world with respect to rifles. This particular gun, the SOCOM 16 M1A from Springfield. This is the muscle car of the gun world. So send your hate mail. I'm pretty sure I'll get some because everybody likes to get mad at me for all of my comparisons to other products that I am into. So if you don't like it, that's perfectly okay because at the end of the day, I have a SOCOM 16 and I'm happy.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for or hopefully even avoid a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. I'm sure the YouTube algorithm is going to do a phenomenal job of suppressing this message. So please share this video with as many people as you can so we can beat the algorithm and get our two-way message out to the masses. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment and hit the bell and subscribe button.